Welcome to Career Secrets channel. I'm your host, Professor Edmund. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. A number of students has approached me and they want to know more about networking. Some of them are not quite sure about their career path. So I'll just do it in a particular sequence, but I'll focus on networking today. First, the key concept. I think it would be amazing if you can do what you love to do and have fun doing it, loving what you do. That's the essence of a good career. So from my standpoint, what you have to do is to understand the big concepts. Number one, you need to have a clear career goal. And I'll explain a little further. The way to do it for people who are not familiar with their own career and or their personality, I suggest that you try the personality test or personality assessment to understand yourself better. It's not the be all and all in terms of a guide, but it will certainly give you some good ideas as to the areas that you may want to focus on from a career standpoint, maybe in marketing, maybe in sales, maybe teaching, maybe in manufacturing or otherwise. So number one, you need to have a clear career goal. Otherwise, you can't really start looking for a job or networking. The reason is that you'll be networking with the wrong people. It's very obvious, very simple. Number two concept is a resume is an interview agenda. And we talk about that, and I don't want to go deep into that anymore. Again, a resume is an interview agenda. The interviewer would just pick it up because they're nervous also themselves, not knowing you, not knowing what to talk about. So the first thing that they do is to bring up that resume and start reading it and then ask you questions relating to the top part of your resume. So I would recommend, again, for you to have your best and most relevant qualifications and experience relating to that specific job on the top half of the first page of your resume, so that when you go to the interview, the interviewer will be focusing on your strength and they'll be asking you questions so that you'll be spending a majority of the time talking about your strength and the good part of your resume and experience. I just want to remind everybody that the best way to get a job is networking. That's why we want to talk about networking. We want to talk about LinkedIn. But it's not the easiest thing if you don't have a good career goal or if you don't know what you want to do, your strengths and weaknesses. So the general direction, you need to have a goal. This is like a split pin in a bowling alley. It's a tough decision if you're thinking about sales and marketing and you talk about teaching. And this is a real life example because I have very similar background, similar to one of my students. And I think this is one of her challenge. Do I want to do something else or do I want to go back to teaching? So for me, I have a short career in teaching very early in my career. And then I went to do sales and marketing. First in marketing, and then the later part of my career in sales. What you need to do is to watch one of the earlier video on my YouTube channel, and it will explain to you the exact 6-step process for you to set goals. And it involves your end state, meaning whatever you want to do at retirement. So you need to go backwards to think about your retirement first as to what you want to do, and then think about how do you get there. I'll use an example of a marketing job. So what have I done in marketing and what do you want to do in marketing? It's slightly different because we are having a lot of online digital marketing in this era. Way back when I started marketing, it was all direct marketing, direct mail, advertising, promotion, direct selling. Right now, we rely on social media so much and also online marketing. The landscape is completely changed, but the attention to details is the same, meaning what you need to do in the job search, what you need to perform at work, what you need to do in terms of networking. Attention to detail is always going to help you. The other thing is resourcefulness. In the past, in our resume, we'll put down resourcefulness, but I haven't seen that for a little while. So resourcefulness to me is You have limited resources. How are you going to accomplish your job? So if you're very resourceful, that means that you can go online and you can search a lot of things and come up with the relevant information for you to move forward with job hunting, with research at work, and become very successful. Google is really important in our life today. If you're not Googling 20, 30 times a day, you're not utilizing the search capability. The one thing that I would recommend you to do is to do that classic organizational chart search. Let's say if you want to go into marketing, you Google your job title, your target job title, and you see a chart. If you put down something like marketing organizational chart for a Fortune 100 company, you get a big company organizational chart for marketing so that you can go in and look at your career path or potential career path, meaning you see the specialist, the analyst, the supervisor, the manager's role, the director's role, and then the vice president, and then the CMO, the chief marketing officer. Why do you want to do that? Because you want to understand the job role, what are there, and also potentially how much all these different jobs paying so that you can understand whether it fits your goal. Remember the end state? Remember the retirement end state that you want to be in at one point? You want to see how closely it match up with your career goals. So you want to do that early versus 5 years down the road, you go, oh, I don't have enough money. Well, you should know early in the cycle how much money you need, and then you find a job that is relevant for that kind of a career for you to make that kind of money. So this is just one example. I'm not even going there. You can see the digital marketing, you can see the marketing operations, demand generation, branding, and so on. So there are all kinds of different roles in marketing. Time and time again, I heard students saying, I want to be in marketing, but exactly what do you want to do? Do you want to do SEO, as in search engine optimization, website design? Do you want to do customer acquisition? Do you want to do e-commerce, self-service, customer experience? Do you want to do advertising, copywriting? Do you want to do videos? Do you want to do public relations? There are all kinds. And for you to make whatever money, you may want to pick one versus another. So that's the nature. That's the thing that we need to do. The next point I want to talk to you about is networking. The traditional networking is different from what we do right now. We do LinkedIn and reach out to people. The landscape is something like this. Networking is a general term. Networking includes finding a mentor, and finding a mentor can be for life or can be for a particular career within your company for years and years. And then you move on, you find more mentors for your next career. Maybe a high level, maybe a more senior person. It's connection with the like-minded, meaning same interests, similar career path. Maybe somebody's more senior than you are, maybe a peer. It'll help you in job hunting, more specifically and more importantly, help you with job referrals. Coming back to the big concept, networking is the best way for you to get a job. The essence of this is, why do we want to do this? Why would somebody more senior or your classmate 5 years down the road want to refer you to a position within the company, or there are incentives for them? Major corporations provide cash incentive for employee referrals. I've seen $3,000, $4,000, up to $5,000. Some big organization, if they use a headhunter, a recruiter to recruit a new member, they're paying tens of thousands of dollars. And it's based on the salary scale, a percentage of the salary. So there you go. If you refer somebody to a senior position, like a directorial position, $5,000 is nothing comparing to the potential fee that they're paying. These corporations are paying. That's why. And then LinkedIn. I don't need to go into a lot about LinkedIn, but the nature of LinkedIn is that you are connected. Let's say for me, I'm connected to maybe 1,800 people, but the second level connection is about 135,000. I had it somewhere. I was looking at it this morning. And the third is in the billions. It's definitely more than 1 million, but I don't have the exact number here. I can show you later on. So what's the concept? The concept is you need to get connected with as many people as possible. And how do you get connected? I'll show you a couple of things. How do you know how many people you're connected to or in the second or third level? This is how you do it. You may want to take a picture of this. So go into your LinkedIn on your profile page, go under resource and go to my network. Click on my network. Under the manage by network menu on the left-hand side, click on connections and then click on the blue search with filters, the blue words. You will see the green highlight on top. And then what you want to do is to click on the second or the third to see how many people you're connected to in the second generation, second level. You will see and you will understand the concept. So the idea is to get more than 500 if you're a junior person, or if you're intermediate level, get to 1,000. And I know people who religiously go into LinkedIn and spend time every day connecting to people and grow your network. Some basic idea is if you're in a class, you have 30 people. I don't understand why you're not connected to 25 of your classmates. Well, professor, they're not hired. They don't have a good network. Well, wait a minute. You're not looking for the first connection. You're looking at the second level. Meaning, if somebody has a father who works in the finance industry, but that person wants to work in the computer industry, that's not a relevant connection anyways, even if it's a father, a friend, or whatever, it doesn't matter. You want that second connection to be in your network. That's how it works. So you want to grow your network regardless, and especially within your field. So again, going back to knowing the industry, knowing what you want to do, having a career goal, you'll be much more focused in doing the right networking for you. And you have to understand this concept because the connection is exponential. And sometimes it's not the direct connection. Sometimes it's even third level. You can't get into too much details, but if you pay for the premium version of LinkedIn, then you can get access to more. And there's emails and there are other tools available to you. The next thing about networking is I would suggest trade associations. What I did was I spent about 15 minutes this morning in searching for different associations. And hopefully this is showing up. This is a site for an industry association conference. Now it's in US dollars and it's in person. But the little trick here is there are a number of speakers here. If I click here, you just go into a LinkedIn profile. Now she is an American, and then you go, Professor, she's American. I'm not. Well, it doesn't matter because she knows companies in Canada as well. She has 500 plus connection. The reason why she's speaking is that she wants to network. So if you want to LinkedIn with her, even if you are a student or you only have limited connections, she may still accept you as a connection. There you go, another one. So this is just an example, and I don't know if this is a local conference, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what you can do from a networking standpoint, just using the internet. This is another conference in Toronto, same concept. The entrance fee may be high, but you will just do the research here to get to the contacts and look at the speakers and look at the opportunity to meet in person as well. So let's say if this is $30 or even $100, if it's right in your field, you may want to join. And there's one interesting way that I've suggested my student to do is to volunteer for these organizers so that when people are coming into the registration booth to pick up their name tag, you meet the person who's the vice president of marketing or vice president of banking with a particular organization, particular industry. And then since you are a member as well, I recommend that you join. If it's the right industry, spend the money. It's easier for them to say yes to you when you're face to face, to LinkedIn, and maybe to get a meeting, to network. So there's also a career fair in Canada. And how do I know this? I was looking at the Metro Toronto Convention Center website. And in here, they have a list of different shows and conventions at different dates. So you can see if it's relevant to you, even if it's not relevant or remotely related, you can still go. Some of you are changing career completely, 100%. You just need to do this strategically so that you go to the right ones to connect to the right people. And maybe some of them are free. Case in point, my good friend Dominic, when he was a guest speaker within one of my classes, he mentioned that ServiceNow, very prominent software company, have events that are free and they have students coming in all the time to meet with the vendors and connect with the users. So it's free for you. So you just need to find the right resources. Again, this is being resourceful and spending the time on the internet and doing the right things. And so the career fair is May 22nd. There are not a whole lot of vendors. Again, a good opportunity, regardless. If you are not working, you may as well spend the time. And there are a few different conventions at the Metro Convention Center, and it's happening all the time in Toronto. Toronto is a big city.